Time has always been the shadow that follows love. It gives us moments, and it takes them away. A flash of misty Scottish Highlands appears. A storm brews in the distance. The camera sweeps past stone ruins, and the faint outline of a man and woman holding hands dissolves into the fog. The ticking resumes, faster, louder. The hook pulls the audience into the heartbeat of the story. A love that has never belonged to one time, one place, or even one lifetime. The camera glides over the highlands at dawn. Mist curls around the mountains like whispers of the past. The voiceover begins, steady and haunting. Once upon a time, love was a promise, whispered in the silence of a battlefield, hidden in the pages of a torn letter, carried across centuries by the strength of two souls. The ticking clock softens, blending into the background like a heartbeat. A sudden flash, an hourglass falls, grains of sand scattering in slow motion. The sound of wind howls as if carrying the voices of the past. Claire's voice echoes faintly. Jamie, where are you? The screen flickers with fragmented memories, Jamie's face in the shadow of firelight. Claire walking through stone circles, the flicker of battles long fought. The imagery is broken, dreamlike, almost as though the viewer is slipping through time themselves. The narration deepens. But time is not kind. It bends, it twists, it tears at the fabric of love. And when love dares to stand against it, time strikes harder. A bolt of lightning splits the sky. The camera shows a burning candle blown out, leaving only smoke. In the dark, hands reach for each other, but just before they touch, they dissolve like dust. The voice rises with intensity. They thought their love could survive anything: war, betrayal, distance, even centuries. But time has never been their ally. The visuals grow sharper. A pocket watch lies cracked on the ground. The glass is broken, the hands frozen at midnight. Behind it, blurred, we see the outline of Claire's face, filled with both hope and fear. The scene shifts. Rolling waves crash violently against cliffs. The camera dives into the storm, revealing flashes. Jamie's sword drawn, Claire's desperate eyes, a letter burning to ash. Each moment is quick, fleeting, like memories slipping away. The narrator whispers, in the end, time always takes. It takes days. It takes years. And one day, it may take everything. Silence falls. A single violin note lingers. Then the screen fades to black, leaving only the sound of the ticking clock once again. The last line of Section 1 lands like a challenge, hanging heavy in the air. But what happens when love refuses to let go? Even when time says it must? Asterisk, the storm from the first section fades into silence. Slowly, the screen brightens to the glow of firelight. A pair of hands hold each other tightly, one scarred by battle, the other trembling with age. The sound of the clock returns, but this time it doesn't tick steadily. It skips, falters like a heart that struggles to keep beating. The voiceover, calm but heavy with weight, begins. Love has faced many enemies. Betrayal, war, distance, death itself. But the greatest enemy has always been time. For every kiss stolen beneath the stars, there is a dawn that takes it away. For every moment of joy, there is a shadow waiting, counting down the seconds. The visuals flicker, Jamie's younger face fading into his older one. Claire walking through the stones as her figure splits, half in the past, half in the present. An hourglass turns over by invisible hands, and the grains fall faster than before. The voice lowers to a whisper. What happens when love belongs to no single year? When every heartbeat pulls two souls across centuries? What happens when the years themselves refuse to let them rest? A series of quick shots cut through the silence, Claire crying as letters burn in the fire. Jamie reaching out, but his hand fades before it touches hers. The ancient standing stones vibrating with unseen power. A clock face spinning wildly until it shatters. The music swells, filled with strings and drums, each beat syncing with the frantic ticking. The narrator continues. Time is merciless. It steals youth, it steals memory, it steals the very moments that make us human. And yet, there are loves that even time cannot erase. Loves that echo through centuries, breaking every rule, defying every boundary. The screen now splits in two. On the left, Jamie rides into battle in the 18th century, sword raised. On the right, Claire walks through a modern city street lost in thought. The images blur together until they overlap, as if two worlds are fighting to exist in the same space. The voice grows more intense. They have lived in different worlds. They have fought different wars. And yet their souls have always found each other. Across fire. Across oceans. Across time itself, a moment of quiet. The music fades into a low hum. A single candle flickers in the dark, the narrator's voice softens, but the words cut deeper. But every love has its price. Every choice leaves a scar, and time does not forgive. It waits, patient, cruel, ready to take everything. Suddenly, the visuals erupt. The stones glow as if alive. A battlefield is drenched in rain, Jamie's voice shouting in the chaos. Claire clutches a bloodied letter to her chest, tears streaming down her face. A clock hand strikes midnight and splinters into pieces. The narrator delivers the line with finality. Love is eternal, but time is endless. And when eternal love meets endless time, only one can survive. The music surges to a peak, then cuts to silence. A single whisper breaks the darkness. Jamie. The screen fades to black. The ticking clock stops altogether. And then the sound of a single heartbeat. Asterisk. The black screen breathes back into life. Rolling thunder rumbles in the distance. Rain lashes against stone ruins, and through the storm we see Claire walking alone, her face hidden by shadows. The faint heartbeat from the end of Section 2 echoes, but this time it quickens, stronger, as if calling her forward. The voiceover begins. Steady yet weighted with sorrow. Every journey has a beginning. Every love story has a middle. But not every story is promised an ending. For Jamie and Claire, the path has never been straight. It has bent across centuries, broken through battles, stitched itself together with blood, loss, and hope. The camera pans across different eras, blurry overlays of wagons on muddy roads, trains cutting through mist, modern highways stretching into the horizon. Claire walks forward, and with every step, the scenery behind her shifts. The 18th century fades into the 20th, the 20th into the 21st, yet she keeps walking, as though she has no choice but to move through time itself. The voice lowers, more intimate. They have crossed oceans, fought wars, healed wounds no one else could see, but now their journey takes them to a place no map can chart, no history book can explain. The final crossing, a sudden flash, Jamie on horseback, galloping through a battlefield. Smoke rises, cannon fire shakes the ground. His eyes search the chaos, not for victory. But for her, Jamie's faint whisper echoes over the storm. Claire, I will find you. No matter where. No matter when. The screen splits into fragments, each shard showing moments of their journey, their first touch by firelight. A desperate embrace before battle. Claire holding Jamie's face as if memorizing every detail. A tear slipping down her cheek as she whispers something unheard. The music swells, strings bending into a haunting melody. The narrator continues, voice deep and filled with gravity. They have stolen moments from time. They have defied history itself. But to fight one last time, to hold on to love when the years crumble around them, will demand more than courage. It will demand sacrifice. The visuals grow darker, Claire kneeling at a gravestone, her hand trembling. Jamie lifting his sword one final time, his face etched with both fury and sorrow. A clock shattering into fragments that dissolve into falling snow. Two hands reaching in the dark, the gap between them wider than ever before. The voice sharpens, almost like prophecy. Their final journey is not one of distance, but of fate. It is a journey through memory, through sacrifice, through every choice that ever pulled them together, and every shadow that ever tried to tear them apart. The storm builds to a violent crescendo. Waves crash against cliffs. Lightning splits the sky in two. Claire's silhouette stands at the stones once more, her hair whipping in the wind. The stones glow faintly, pulsing like a heartbeat. The music cuts suddenly to silence. Only the voice remains. Every story ends. Every journey must find its last road. But for Jamie and Claire, this is not just the end of a journey. It is the end of time itself. The heartbeat sound grows louder. One beat, then another. Then silence. A single whisper drifts into the dark. Forever. Isn't long enough. The screen fades to black. Preparing for the final reveal in section 4. Love does not end because time says it must. Love lingers. In memories. In places. In the silence between heartbeats. But even the strongest flame can be stolen by the dark. The candle flickers harder, the shadows stretching long across the walls. A sudden gust extinguishes the flame. Darkness swallows the screen. Claire's faint whisper echoes through the void. Jamie. The sound of her voice lingers, breaking, trembling. Then silence again. A slow, steady sound returns. Not a ticking clock this time, but the faint toll of a bell. With each toll, images flash for a split second. Jamie, bloodied, standing on a battlefield. Claire, her eyes brimming with tears, clutching his hand. A pocket watch spinning out of control. The stones, glowing like they've never glowed before, humming with unbearable power. The bell fades. The voiceover deepens, sharper now, almost like fate itself is speaking. Forever isn't measured in years. It isn't measured in hours. Forever is measured in the moments we choose to love. Even when everything else is taken away, the imagery slows. We see Jamie and Claire in silhouette, standing at the edge of the stones. Their hands are joined, but their bodies flicker sometimes together, sometimes fading apart. As though time is pulling them in different directions, the voice softens. Trembling with finality, this is their last story. Their last chance. Their last fight against the one enemy no soul can conquer. The screen shatters with flashes of fire. Battle, tears, storms, and shadows all blending into chaos. The sound builds, drums pounding, strings screaming, and then everything cuts to silence. The screen turns black. Only one whisper remains, carried like a ghost across the darkness, even if time ends. I will love you still. The words hang in the air. Then dash bam. A clock chime strikes midnight. The sound is sharp, violent, echoing like the closing of a door. The title appears on screen in bold. Fading letters. Outlander Season 8. Love versus Time. The Last Outlander Story. The letters linger, glowing faintly like embers. Then they crumble into dust, blowing away into the dark as the dust fades. One last sound returns, a single heartbeat, slow, strong, final. The screen fades to black.